Welcome to Truth Tribe, my friends. If you are new here, I'm Daune Thompson, known as the Soul CEO Activator. I decode the boulders in your life so that you can design the life that you actually deserve and not the one that you were told to settle for probably most of your life. Truth Tribe exists for one reason: self-awareness and self-understanding. You're in your health, in your wealth, in your relationships, in health, wealth, and love, most vital, right? Those are the big topics, but all of it in between. And I want to always say this at the beginning of every discussion: you're already perfect. There is nothing wrong with you. We are not fixing you. We are remembering who you are. Less fixing, more truth. So tonight's topic: you wanted the upgrade, and this is what it feels like. This is a big deal because we've been doing a lot of self-work, a lot of internal work. Those of you who work with me personally and privately, we've been diving deep into your soul's authentic alignment. Who are you? And we've had to let go of who we've been performing as. So let's land this plane. Let's understand where we're trying to understand the upgrade. You wanted to upgrade your life. You wanted to shift at 180. You've been asking for clarity. Dawn, I just need clarity, alignment, peace, expansion. And now that it's happening, dun, 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 you're like, why does it feel so intense? Why is it so overwhelming? Why does everything feel like it's coming at me all at once? Because the upgrades aren't spa days, my friends. They're actually very uncomfortable because they are not things that you're used to. They're rebuilds, right? And when you are doing a reconstruction on your house or you're remodeling something, you know what's coming, you know what you've planned, you know what you've prepared, but it's uncomfortable because you got a mess, right? So upgrades aren't always the spa days, but they are rebuilding. And why does everything feel so intense? Because the veil, as I've told you, has been lifting and lifting between us, and it's now starting to get so thin that we have now moved body, mind, spirit, right? 3D, things you can touch, things. 4D are thoughts, that's tapped into 5D and 3D. And then spirit, 5D and above, fifth dimensional quantum field, where there is no time and space. And so it feels intense because you're doing things, you're thinking it, you've planned it, you've prepared for it, you're rebuilding things, and you're letting all the dust settle, and you're starting to go, wait a minute, oh wait, I'm manifesting faster, oh wait, that's coming faster, wait, more of the old stuff was showing up, but I'm not that. And it's very intense. It's like a storm around your lighthouse that is hail and snow and rain and wind and thunder. And it's like all of them happening at once. Why? Because you're tapping into all these experiences and realizing you're so powerful. Okay. So what upgrade actually feels like? It feels like things shifting fast, people falling away that you thought were part of your reality. They aren't. New opportunities are showing up and like out of the blue, and you're like, the old you had to like figure it out and plan for it, and it was so much work, and now all of a sudden all the intentional alignment authenticity is basically sending out your sonar, right? And your sonar is so strong that opportunities are just showing up. Old patterns are trying one last time. You're like, nope, I thought it, I saw it, I knew what it was, I almost engaged, but I know better. So this is like all the storms that are all different experiences, people, places, circumstances, environments are showing up, right? It's not chaos. It's simply reorganization, right? Reorganization of who you are, of who you've become, of all your alignment. And so your job right now is not to panic, not to retreat to hide, I should say. Solitude and decompression are actually very peaceful and calm now. You're not afraid to be alone. You're actually enjoy the recharging time. But I mean not to retreat, to hide or run away, not to panic and think things are going backwards, right? Your job is to hold your new standard, the new bar that you've set, the new you after you took Reality Check Reset and Soul Masters. to go, oh, now I've recalibrated, I've set a new standard for me, and now I gotta hold still. I've gotta hold that frequency. I have to stop leaking energy. I have to stop leaking battery. I have to stop leaking my charge. That's the job. And so the final B's, your final 4 B's is in master checking right now, right? You don't just know your patterns anymore. Now you see them. Now you stop them. By the way, the 4 B's, right? Your blocks, your emotional baggage, your bruises, and your breakthroughs. Okay? So these are basically 4 categories in your chart that will kind of flare you up the most, that will push your buttons the most, that you self-sabotage the most, where you question things the most, and then you excel at them, and then you fall down again, and then you excel, and then you fall down. And so the goal is to master, right? So that's why you're in your final version of self-mastery and soul mastery. And you're being able to now check yourself a little bit more than you used to, because you know it. I'm not just the one telling you where it is. You know it so well, and it's so simple, right? My 4 categories are self-expression, mental health, past life, intuition, and self-sacrificing. My value and worth sit there. My public persona, how I show up. Now I'm kind of in the don't give a shit era, and I'm debunking all of the trendy bullshit out there so you guys can actually own your life. So you can actually start going, wait a minute, it's a big question I want you all to consider right now. Why doesn't any of the healing modalities? Why aren't you better? Why doesn't all of the financial opportunities that you look for? Why aren't you better? Why isn't all the relationship? I mean, there are courses and books and products and cards and ways to. Why aren't you better? Why aren't you in love? Why didn't you find a new healthy love? Why are all these situations, circumstances, products working? Why are so many people sad and depressed? Why aren't they better? Apparently, this was a medical condition. I call bullshit on that too. It's not a medical condition. It's called I'm not living authentically as my soul came to live. And I had parents who really were completely disconnected from that soul's alignment. They didn't know my chart. They didn't know. They just did what they knew. And they were extreme enough for me to pull away and say, no, I've got to get know me. That's when anxiety and depression calms down, because you don't really need to do anything different. You don't need to question what's wrong with you. You don't need to question why you don't fit in. You don't need to question if you're maybe a little bit of an introvert and you're a writer and you love just investigating mysteries and creating on paper. Like, you don't need to change who you are so you don't feel depressed about who you are, because you love who you are. So I'm calling bullshit on why aren't we better? Because we don't understand ourselves, and we have never had a tool to just look at ourselves and say, so that's the lesson? Yeah, I didn't like my Saturn lesson. I didn't like the block that was in my life for most of it. Probably 40 years of it. Honestly, it pissed me off. Honestly, it put me in depression. It put me into frustration. It put me into some financial situations in my life. Go watch my life journey on my website if you haven't seen this. I have a little mini short. I did a great interview with someone, right? And he interviewed me and said, I want to know your life journey. And I didn't even realize it till he did this journey with me and had me express my life. And I was like, wow, right? Like, there was a point where I had no money, no health, no love. Like, I was a disaster. And my body kept trying to tell me all this. And then everybody kept saying, well, take this pill, take this product, take this. And nothing was working. Nothing worked until, guess what? Dawn did what I tell all of you to do. And I went and looked at my chart. I checked my hotspots. And I actually mastered them at what they wanted me to learn about me. And literally the rest of the world just dropped off. If no one watches my videos, if everyone watches my videos, it didn't matter. I'm just being me. This is the cool shit I see, So that's what's happening energetically in the pick self energetic frequency we're in right now, is you're in those the final kind of self check of mastering your bees, right? And now can you see them? Can you stop engaging them? Can you choose differently and move forward anyway? That's mastery. Really. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's not always easy, because there's a part of you that is so patterned, it's subconscious. I watch people do stuff, they don't even know they're doing it. I'll see stuff come out of people's mouths, they don't even know it slipped out. Their lack language, their lack behavior, their scarcity language, their scarcity behavior, their fear language. I used to speak about being sick and tired all day long. I'm like, I'm so sick and tired, not of my body, but of experiences, of people, of dating before my husband, right? So sick and tired of this, so sick and tired. Guess who was the alarm clock telling me, oh, I'll show you sick and tired? My body. The battery then said, okay, well, if you're sick and tired, let me show you what that really looks like. We are literally in an energy grid of frequency, and we get mirrored it back to us to decide if we want to see it or not. In our own body, wealth and love, right? Health starts telling you exactly what your reality looks like. Ding, ding, ding. How about you take care of this sick and this tired, and you won't be sick and tired anymore. But I was taking care of everyone else's sick and tired because of my hot spot in my 12th house, blocking me from realizing this was me avoiding me. That's mastery, my friends. You've got to see you. You came here to learn these lessons, to learn this mastery, to check in with you. And I'm not debating that we were in stupid education systems that taught you to sit here and block yourself out and do things that will never help you in the real world. Never help you be you. Never checked in to say, who are you authentically? You know what? You would be an amazing millionaire as a plumber, as an electrician, as a hairstylist, and I'm just giving you trades, right? As anything, as a coder, as technology, as whatever your soul's good at. You could have all the money, health, and wealth all aligned together if you just saw why you're here. That's mastery. So I don't really care what bullshit's going on in the world right now. It's all to keep you distracted from ding, 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 ding. This, you, your soul, and your complete engagement of all 12 fragments, all 12 categories and aspects of you. So here's the truth. This is the big truth, tip. Is that you're not becoming someone new. You're finally being who you are and who have always been and who you came in to be without apology, right? Without having to explain yourself, without having to ask for permission. You're just being you. And people go, well, just be. It does kind of sound weird, right? Like, how the hell do I just be? How do I just be myself, Dawn? When, I got to pay bills and I got to do this and I got to do that. First, learn who you are before you start to try and control the rest of the world. First, learn that if you can create solitude and centeredness and peacefulness within this lighthouse and understanding, the world will drop you. That's how karma works. You don't have to go burn the karma, end your karma, expect karma to take care of itself. When you complete the message that the karma is sitting in your chart, getting you to learn, the karma drops you. The money problems drop you. The love challenges and the unhealthy love drops you. The inability to receive drops you. The lack and scarcity mentality that you were programmed in that 12th house to play small and lock up and don't speak your truth and don't express your needs. And you start to see it and you're like, oh, I'm in my bullshit mastery moment right now, right? It drops you. It doesn't even show up anymore because it can't get into your lighthouse anymore. So your goal right now is to start stepping into learning to master that karma, understand that these tests have been coming up so you can stop apologizing to anybody for being you. And what's fascinating is that this is happening so intensely that people almost can't get out of it, and they're kind of confused, because that's why I'm trying to share these calls with you, is that people are getting really confused of saying, well, why is this stuff showing up again? To see how truly masterful you are at not losing yourself, at not letting people tap into your energy field who aren't going to give back to your energy field, who are draining your tank, who are asking you to explain why you're not the buffet for them to eat, to take your money, to take your time, to take your energy, to take your love and give nothing back. That's what's happening. That's all that's happening for you to start growing into learning you. And so whether you like astrology or not, I don't even care if you like astrology. I just want you to print the piece of paper and then go into Soul Masters or Reality Check Reset and look at your categories. Get rid of the chart after that and just look at the categories. You're like, oh yeah, you're right, Dawn. My 2 wounded spots, just in the simple versions, are in my emotions and intimacy. It's why I struggle to have an emotional connection with a partner or a spouse. Okay, that's somewhere to start. You're right. There's another block there, Dawn. And I really just don't understand why I struggle with my kids so much. There's a place to start. You came to learn. You came to grow. You take all these classes and all this courses at work and learn how to do your job the best and learn you took driving lessons. We learn all these things, but we avoid learning ourselves. And that's where you're at, my friends. You are finally learning how to be who you are without apology. And it's time. And the time is here right now. So, this is the life you said you wanted. Get ready, my friends. Now live it like you mean it. If you want help tightening any of these discussions into your real life action steps with boundaries and money and worth, and to stop leaking your energy plan, right? Just start with the Reality Check Reset on my website, or go all into Soul Masters 180. Again, go through Reality Check Reset because there's a little gift for you at the end to get into Soul Masters 180. As you know, details are always in the notes below or on my socials and any of my social bio links. On all my homepage, everything is there for you. Even some new fun videos of interviews that you might like to visit and get to know Dawn a little bit more. Go visit my homepage, ideserveitnow.com. As always, I love you. Brightest blessings. Have a beautiful day. Take care.